5 divided by 10. So against every 26.5 seats, there was one reserved seat for non-Muslims, and then the seats were accordingly distributed amongst the parties which appear in the first 4 rows, according to the seats. And in the third column from the right-hand side, you'd see how the seats were then worked out. In the first row, it is PTI, which had a total of 125 general seats. It was divided by 26.5, and the seat was 4.72, and then the highest fraction, it was rounded off to 5, in accordance with Rule 94, and so on and so forth. And then when the last party, which was MMAP, against 12 seats, it got the fraction was 0.45, but it got rounded off to 1, and they were also entitled to 1 seat. So this is how the formula was applied. The independents were excluded, point being that the independents were excluded. And the following page, page 11, this is now the distribution of seats of National Assembly, women's seats from Punjab. In this case, it was pretty straightforward, because out of 141 seats, there were 132 who were elected on political party tickets. They were their candidates or nominees, 7 independents who joined political parties, so the entire 139 was formed the basis. Two results were postponed, which belonged to Punjab. And then this follows at page 12. In page 12, in Sindh, in case of Sindh, one member retained his independent status. He was also excluded. KP, there was no exclusion. In Balochistan, there was one exclusion at page 14. Out of total 16 seats, there was one candidate who was independent. He retained his independent status. You would see on page 14 that the quota was then worked out on the basis of 15 seats, and so on and so forth. Now, if I may take your lordships for a moment to page 4. These are the rules which are called the National Assembly and Provincial Assemblies Allocation of Reserved Seats of Women and Non-Muslims Procedure Rules 2002. Now these are material in 2 respects.
These have not been repealed.
But sir, I'll come to that, because 2017 ने फिर इनको repeal किया. Rules 4 and 5 are in pari materia with rules 94 and 95 of 2017 rules.
Rule 4 is pari materia
to 94, and Rule 5 is pari materia with Rule 95. The sub-rule 2 of Rule 5 with one material difference, which is not relevant for the purpose of this discussion, this case. At that point in time, I just, for the sake of completeness, under the 2002 rules, my lord, yesterday जब आपने मुझे 95-1 पढ़ने का कहा, तो उसमें कहा कि जो लोग 2 सीटों पे जीत के आएंगे तो वो exclude नहीं होंगे for the purpose of working out the share. But under Rule 5, sub-rule 2 of these rules, they were excluded. In addition to the independents, they were also excluded, but this was done away with while making 2017 rules. And under the 2017 rules, it is only the independents who get excluded. My lords, if I may, page 7 पे देखेंगे. It must be a folded page, page 7. This is the 2002 Assembly, the 12th National Assembly. In this, my lords, at serial number 16, at the bottom, there were 14 independents who had retained their independent status. Out of the House of 272, the results were withheld on 2 seats. So the 270 was the number. 14 independents. The share was worked out on the basis of exclusion by excluding 14 independents, and it was 256 seats which formed the basis for working out the formula. And at serial number 4 and 5, you'd see there were 2 parties who had gotten 13 seats each, whereas there were 14 independents, but the seat went to one of these 2 parties because there was a tie and a lot was drawn, and it was given to MQM at that time because वो 10वीं seat थी. Page 9. Now this is important, but before you turn to page 9, one point I want to make here. The 2002 National Assembly was the assembly in which, for the first time, 51-6, the distribution of seats took place under 51-6. This is the assembly which had passed the 17th Amendment. So when we look at the legislative intent, my lords and your ladyship will please bear in mind that the assembly which had passed the 17th amendment was perfectly okay with the distribution of seats by the exclusion of independents. Every successive National Assembly, the same practice has been followed. At no point in time either the independents have objected to it or any of the political parties across the aisle have objected to the exclusion of independents. So my lord and your ladyship will bear the legislative intent in mind, what they had in mind while introducing Article 51, Clause 6. Page 9, sir. Now this is Balochistan Assembly. This is relevant only because a large number of independents got returned. More than 20% of that assembly comprised of independent candidates. And at the time when the reserve seats were being distributed, you'd see, sir, the total seats in Balochistan at that time and now also 51. 2 seats were taken out because of death and one returned candidate was appointed as the governor. So 49 seats were the relevant seats, out of which 10 were independents. And the 10 was equivalent to 20.41% of the total. So the distribution of 11 women's seats was worked out on the basis of 39 seats, which was by excluding independents, and those 39 seats formed the basis for working out or distributing or for allocating the reserve seats. My point, my lord, as I had submitted yesterday, all along, the independents have always been excluded, and it is quite clear from the text of 51(6) and so also the purpose of it, that seats have to be given to political parties. It is the women whose representation was to be secured through political parties on the basis of proportional representation system of political parties list. The only exception for independents is what is provided in the proviso. My lord, with this, I move on to my next submission. And now here I address the question. It was
Why
raised.
such situation is not provided under the Act and the rules?
Beg your pardon, my
To
lord?
cater such type of situations, why the Act does not provide any provision like this? To give the seats if such a situation of independent candidates occur, and under the proportional representation system, the seats will go to such parties who have contested.
My lord, that is our...
Well, 51D alone is not enough for this interpretation, you see.
My lord, the rules also provide, sub-rule 2 of Rule 95 provides for exclusion of independents 1, with the exception that the independents who duly join a political party, they do not get excluded because they get added back to that political party for the purposes
Consequences of
working.
exclusion are not mentioned.
My lord, the consequence of exclusion is something which is rooted in 51(6)(d), my respectful submission, which is that because the seats have to be allocated to political parties and not to the independents, therefore the independents must
What is the
necessarily be
purpose of
excluded.
list at the time of filing list of the political parties for the reserve candidate? How do you know कि ये situation होनी है तो मैं 10 की जगह 40 नाम दे दूं लिस्ट में पहले से?
My lord, the rules and the act, it provides for and it gives this latitude to the political parties to give as many names as they may wish to. They can give all 60 names from each province, 32 and whatever the number may be. वो सारे वो नाम दे सकते हैं. अगर वो लिस्ट एग्जॉस्ट होती है तो फिर एडिशन
तो ठीक है, वो तो प्रोविजन है उसमें एग्जॉस्ट के बाद.
जी.
तो लॉ में इस तरह की कोई प्रोविजन नहीं.
ये लॉ के अंदर की सेक्शन 104 की बात कर रहा हूँ.
No
Under
situation
rules.
to deal with such situation. There is no remedy provided how to deal such situation under the law.
My
Even
lord,
in the
now-
Constitution, it is not provided.
Now this situation has arisen, and in this parliament there are about 32 or 33%.
This is one of the creative and progressive interpretation at one end.
My lord, that might be so. There are about 33% members who, according to the order of the Election Commission, were declared as independents. I have shown you the example of Balochistan Assembly where not as much, but more than 20% were independents. The question before your lordships in order to deal with this situation would be whether under 51(6)(d) Sunni Ittihat Council was the party which the independents could have joined. Now, if it was a party, if you come to the conclusion that it is the party which the independents could have joined, then the proviso to sub-rule 2 of Rule 95 would kick in and these independents would not be
Actually,
excluded.
I was reading the literal text of Article 51D. What is provided in that? Is it cater the need of the time which you have done?
My lord, in this case, the primary question will be a two-step response to this, and that is how the case has also been made out. First is whether this is a party which the independents could have joined for the purposes of paragraph D of clause 6 of Article 51, and then if they could, whether this party then becomes or is entitled to those reserved seats or not. So this is in this order, the questions have to be addressed in my respectful submission. If the court comes to the conclusion that yes, this is a party which they could have joined and therefore their status is no longer that of independence, then proviso to sub-rule 2 of Rule 95 would kick in and they will not be excluded. But if you come to the contrary conclusion to the contrary, then their status will then become that of independence and then they will have to be excluded. I will make, during the course, I will make another submission which might then bring home the point
Mr.
what I'm
Attorney
trying to make.
what your emphasis is that exclusion of the independents with regard to the proviso. It caters both the positions, exclusion and inclusion. Inclusion is also under the proviso.
Ji.
If they join the party within prescribed period.
They get excluded.
And
They
that
get
join
excluded.
such political parties.
Yes, yes, and that's what the proviso also mirrors. Actually, it gives effect to the proviso to paragraph D. Sir.
Exclusion and inclusion both.
Ji. My lord, if I may now, my lord,
Attorney General, I think we haven't addressed the basic question, and that is in the context of Article 51D. The edifice of Article 51D is the constitutional right of a political party. Now here, a political party has been excluded by the Election Commission, and that is the question. Now this would be a very grave constitutional violation committed by the Election Commission itself. So as a constitutional highest court, it is not our obligation to correct this very serious, grave constitutional violation, because it goes to the root of democratic principles enshrined in this constitution, and it has virtually disenfranchised all those who voted for that political party.
my lord, I intend to, and my lord has raised this question, had raised this question yesterday. My last submission actually addresses this when I make submission on Article 187 also.
But can you
before
come
that,
to
I
the
have
examples that you have given of the 2024 elections in your paper book? Because the impact is important to note and understand. So what you've shown on page 23?
No, Ladyship, if I may, this is the record which I had placed before you. For the purposes of the submission which I have made with respect to this record is only one. And when I make the other submissions, this will, my lady's question
Are
will
you going
then
to go
become
through
relevant.
this record?
Ji?
Are you going to go through this?
Ji, I will go through
All
this
right.
record because in 2024 also, the independents have been excluded, independents including those who had joined
But you
SIC.
see here the number of independents are very large,
Ji,
and so you
might
can
be so.
see the impact that it's
Ji, ji.
having
Wo-
on your proportional representation.
Impact जरा clear कर.
वो मैं करूंगा अभी मैं इस पे आऊंगा अभी मैं एक अभी submission I want to make a submission on Article 224 whether which deals with the vacancy of seats. There's a situation where seats have to remain vacant.
Actually, you see, in the past, the independents are very few, so the question never arose and was not as a non-issue. In any case, also, you took out the independents because you can then divide the entire reserve seats. Nothing remains vacant. That's why the exclusion की mathematics यही है ना, exclude कर देंगे तो पूरा हो जाएगा ना, सारी seats पूरी हो जाएंगी.
Sir,
That's the only benefit, that you exclude the independents, उस घोल में सारे आ जाएंगे. लेकिन the only problem with the current situation is the tip towards independence being more, because nobody bothered challenging this earlier. It was a non-issue.
मैं इसको
इसलिए इम्पैक्ट वाली बात अगर एक ऑप्टिकली हम देख लें क्या
जी
है।
जी मैं उस पे आना है मैंने आफ्टर मेकिंग दिस सबमिशन आई विल बी एड्रेसिंग दैट क्वेश्चन सर नाउ if my lords and your leadership may kindly turn to article 224 I'd read out clause 4 and then take you through the other provisions. The submission I wish to make, the point I wish to make, my lords and your leadership, is that the vacancy of seats envisaged for a very limited narrow window under the constitution gels in with the scheme provided in the constitution itself as also the law which is applicable in this case. Now if I may kindly read out clause 4 of article 224 very quickly. When except by dissolution of the National Assembly or a provincial assembly a seat in any such assembly has become vacant not later than 120 days before the term of that assembly is due to expire, an election to fill the seat shall be held within 60 days from the occurrence of the vacancy. Now,
What's relevance?
my lord, my submission is that the Constitution does not envisage vacancy of any seat. A seat must always be filled, particularly in the present circumstances also where the seats are reserved for women and non-Muslims.
How does that work when a candidate of a reserved seat passes away or something?
Clause 6 kicks in. Clause 6 kicks in. I'll read that out also. But वो भी पढ़ देता हूँ फिर अभी से. When a reserved seat for women or non-Muslims in the National Assembly or a provincial assembly falls vacant on account of death, resignation or disqualification of a member, it shall be filled by the next person in order of precedence from the party list of the candidates to be submitted to the Election Commission by the political party whose member has vacated such seat, provided that if at any time the party list is exhausted, the concerned political party may submit a name for any vacancy which may occur thereafter. Now back to clause 4. Now there is a 120-day window, which is 120 days before the expiry of the term. If a seat falls vacant, Constitution says don't hold elections. And one rationale is provided within this clause itself, which is when read with Election Act, there is a 54-day election program also. So the 66th day is an absolute cutoff. Because after the 66th day, if the seat falls vacant, the elections cannot possibly be held because the 54-day election program cannot be seen through. There is another rationale to it also. If you may kindly turn to Article 222. I'll read out clauses B, C and F, but the opening part of it also. Subject to the Constitution, Majlis-e-Shura, Parliament may by law provide for B, the delimitation of constituencies by the Election Commission, including delimitation of constituencies of local government. C, the preparation of electoral rolls, the requirements as to residence in a constituency, the determination of objections pertaining to and the commencement of electoral rolls, and F, all other matters necessary for due constitution of the two houses, the provincial assembly and local governments. Now, the Constitution requires Election Commission to carry out these activities for the purposes of conducting elections and due constitution of the two houses. If I may take you to section 14 of the Election Act.
इसमें क्या बताना था?
इसमें मैं ये बता रहा हूँ कि इलेक्शन एक्ट का सेक्शन 14 आप देखेंगे तो 4 महीने के अंदर बिफोर द एक्सपायरी ऑफ द टर्म ऑफ द असेंबली द इलेक्शन कमीशन इज टू कंप्लीट द डिलिमिटेशन, प्रिपेयर इलेक्टोरल रोल्स एंड सो ऑन एंड सो फॉर्थ, व्हिच इज इट्स ड्यूटी अंडर क्लॉज F और 222 एंड द अदर प्रोविजंस ऑफ द कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन. सो सेक्शन 14 अगर आप देखें इलेक्शन एक्ट का, so this timeline actually works with the timeline provided under clause 4 of article 224. जहाँ पे 120 days बताया था तो साथ इलेक्शन एक्ट में बताया कि 4 महीने एक्सपायरी टर्म की एक्सपायरी से पहले ये सारी एक्टिविटी और ये सारा काम करना है इलेक्शन कमीशन ने जो 222 में बताया हुआ है. So when you read them all of them in harmony, the constitutional command becomes very clear, which is that no seat can be left vacant but for what is provided under clause 4 of article 224. So section 14, I can read out, but my lords may kindly note what I've submitted with regards to section 14.
What do you say about Article 51(1) as my lord just Muni pointed out?
जी.
यहाँ पे जिक्र seats का है और membership का नहीं है जरा.
My lords,
51(1).
my lord would see that Article 51 deals with the stage where the elections are being conducted, elections, it deals with the elections, it deals with the seats which are to be filled. Now, during the process, once the seats get filled, then they become members of the houses. So in the constitutional flow, a scheme of things, you start with 51 and then when you proceed, you are past 51 and the returned candidates are declared as such, they are administered oaths of the offices, they become members. So the interface is quite clear, sir, as far as
General, it
my
seems to
submission
me
goes.
that perhaps you have reversed the sequence. I think the operative presumption of the Constitution is that in any house or provincial assembly, no seat, reserved or otherwise, will be left vacant. That is the basis on which the Constitution proceeds, to which, for example, Article 222(4) is an exception, that you must leave it vacant. Now, that presumption proceeds also on other presumptions, as my learned colleague Justice Masood Ali Shah pointed out, that the number of independents will be low. As you yourself said yesterday, that if there is a very, very large number of independents returned, there is something dysfunctional, something has gone out of kilter. Right? You said that yesterday.
My precise words were that people have then rejected the political parties.
In the sense that we have a parliamentary democracy based on political parties. So once you accept that as the basis of the constitutional framework, insofar as we are presently concerned, then other things follow, then other clauses and provisions make sense. But here the very large number of independents, which you say is resulting in a vacancy of the reserved seats, and therefore the excess seats, as it were, go to the political parties and so on. It seems to me that that begs the question, where did that very large number of independents come from? Were they independents returned by the people, or were they independents, with all due respect to the Election Commission, created by the Election Commission on its faulty understanding of the Constitution, and in particular the judgment of the Supreme Court, which upheld their order? They said it meant this. It didn't say this, it didn't mean this that at all. So you see, when we are in this realm, if this is the correct position, that this whole problem or issue is arising out of errors made by the Election Commission, then surely it is or is it not, the duty of the court, the Supreme Court, to the extent that it is able to do that, to correct that error, to rectify the problem, and if there are alternate pathways available, legally available, to choose the one that results in the error being rectified, and either for that problem, quote unquote, of reserved seats, the excess reserved seats, going to political parties who are not really entitled to that, because that tips the balance, that problem being disappeared because the reserved seats go to some political party to which is entitled, or maybe keeping the resultant vacancies to a minimum. I mean, seems to me surely that is the correct way to interpret and apply the Constitution.
My lord,
Rather than just saying, no, the seats cannot lie vacant. No, I am sorry, I don't, with all due respect, look at it that way. I think the Constitution assumes that the seats will not lie vacant, and therefore, in terms of 22(4), expressly creates a situation where the Constitution says, look, this is the working basis of the Constitution, but here the seat must lie vacant. Surely that's the better and more correct approach.
My lord, I had begun my submissions by yesterday by stating that these reserve seats under 51(6) are to bring in women in such large numbers to the assemblies. It is for their empowerment. And the tool is the political party, or the vehicle is the engine is the political party, and then there is a system which is provided, and that system excludes independence. So this is the flow.
But you see, it
Now,
seems to me, just looking at जो आप अभी बात कर रहे हैं, but then why have the system of proportional representation? Because it seems to me that when a general election especially takes place and general seats are contested by political parties, the mandate of the people is returned on that basis. Now you tip the balance. If you just take it up proportionally, right, in terms of the reserved seats, a political party wins 30% seats, it gets, leaving aside the provisor for a moment, it gets 30% of the reserved seat, another one wins 1 seat, so it gets nothing, and so on and so forth. That does not upset the mandate of the people. But if you, the approach that you take, that no, this is for this purpose, and therefore the seats cannot be left open, that actually tips the electoral mandate.
what you have before you, my lord, and also what, when you look at 5160 and the way I look at it, is that it requires exclusion of independents. I'm sure my lords would appreciate that, that independents have to be excluded and so on. Now, the only question or the observation which has come thus far is that such a large number of independents have been returned. So what do we do about that situation? I'll come to that. But I've just shown you in 2008, there were about more than 20% in Balochistan returned independents. Now, surely those 10 independents also had people's mandate. If you
I don't know, is it anybody's case before
Yes,
us?
I'm going to come to that.
No, you don't know what I'm going to ask. Is it anyone's case before us that the seats should remain vacant? I've not heard that from that side.
no,
This side is saying they should come to me. The other political parties is saying that they should come to them, but it's nobody's case.
Yes.
Why are we exploring something which nobody is pleading?
yes, and Mr. Siddiqui,
Because
if I recall,
the general principle of
position
cases
on this.
before the Supreme Court is you should only adjudicate on matters which come before the Supreme Court. So why are we going into, why are you spending so much time on the seats can't be left vacant? Nobody wants the seats to be left vacant.
And I believe Mr. Siddiqui did take a position on this when a question was asked, and he said that they can't be left vacant, if I recall it correctly. So clearly,
No,
there was
Mr.
no
Sighi's
position
whole
taken on
case
that.
is they should come to the Sunita Council. It's
Yes.
as simple as that. Nothing complicated
This
about
is the
this
last
case.
part where I will address this.
अच्छा
What
दूसरी
can and
बात ये
cannot be
है कि
done.
अगर हम सिंपल प्रोपोर्शनल रिप्रेजेंटेशन होती तो एक तरीका कार तो बड़ा आसान था जितने ये सारे क्लॉजेस की जरूरत ही नहीं थी एक शिक होती 5% वोट मिले तो आपको वो इतने मिल जाएंगे ऑटोमेटिकली आपको किसी को सोचने की जरूरत ही नहीं है टक करके कर दें तो ये पॉलिटिकल पार्टी ये वगैरह इसमें कोई लिखने की जरूरत नहीं थी जिस पॉलिटिकल पार्टी को जितने सीट मिले बस उसको आप दे दें इलेक्शन में
वो पॉपुलर वोट की बेसिस
नहीं वो तो एक बहुत सिंपल सी बात लिख देते हैं आइन वाले मैं बार बार इसीलिए आइन की जो तहरीर है वो क्यों उन्होंने किया गलत किया कैसे किया क्यों नहीं उन्होंने सोचा कि ऐसा सिचुएशन डेवलप हो सकता था ये वो जाने हमारा काम नहीं है
ये मैंने आखिर में ये आखिरी मेरा है आई एम ऑन माय सेकंड लास्ट सबमिशन बट द लास्ट सबमिशन इज प्रिसाइसली दिस इफ आई मे नाउ प्रोसीड विद माय
चलिए थोड़ा सा स्पीड करें
जी माय लॉर्ड्स नाउ looking at the proviso to clause D or paragraph D
जी देख लिया था हमने पहले भी
there are two things I have to reread it for the purpose of this submission
अभी बार बार वही चीज पढ़ रहे हैं आप क्या
मैं सिर्फ एक चीज यहाँ पे बस दिखाना चाहता हूँ कि the independent returned candidates or candidates who may duly join a political party they add on to the tally. Now here the independent returned candidate is joining a political party. After joining this political party he becomes a member of that political party. And when he becomes a member of that political party, on account of such membership, and after oath having been administered to him, he must necessarily become member of parliamentary party of that party. If I may take your lordships to clause 2 of Article 63A, I'll first read it out and then I'll make my submission. Clause 2 of Article 63A, sir. A member of a house shall be deemed to be a member of a parliamentary party if he, comma, having been elected as a candidate or nominee of a political party which constitutes the parliamentary party in the house. Take a pause here, sir.
Sorry, I missed it.
Clause 2 of Article 63A, sir.
63A. अच्छा, okay, I was reading 63A.
I'd reread it. A member of a house shall be deemed to be a member of a parliamentary party if he, having been elected as a candidate or nominee of a political party which constitutes the parliamentary party in the house. A pause here. So,
तो इसका मतलब ये हुआ कि पॉलिटिकल पार्टी पार्लियामेंट में नहीं होती, पॉलिटिकल पार्टी के जो नॉमिनेटेड कैंडिडेट्स होते हैं वो होते हैं और उनकी अपनी पार्लियामानी पार्टी होती है,
मैं इसको
पॉलिटिकल पार्टी से अलग होती है।
मैं उस पॉइंट पे नहीं, मैं यहाँ पे तो सिर्फ ये सबमिट कर रहा हूँ कि फॉर अ पॉलिटिकल पार्टी टू हैव अ पार्लियामेंट्री पार्टी इन द हाउस, इट्स कैंडिडेट्स और नॉमिनीज मस्ट हैव succeeded in the elections to constitute that parliamentary party. Now, if I may read the language after. Or, having been elected otherwise than as a candidate or nominee of a political party, now this is independent, has become a member of such parliamentary party after such elections. The effect of this is that an independent returned candidate who becomes a member can only join such parliamentary party of a political party whose at least one member, one candidate or nominee must have succeeded in the elections to constitute that parliamentary party.
It's after the constitution of the parliamentary party.
That is when he takes oath and becomes a member of the house.
But at that point in time, the joining of that independent with that political party is entirely irrelevant for purposes of.
मैं उसी पे ही बात रहा हूँ sir. Now when you're looking at
It's entirely irrelevant.
now my proceedings. Now let me proceed with my submissions here.
Prior to all of this.
I just now want to make a
इधर
submission.
ही सवाल आ जाता है ना, इसमें जरा क्लियर कर दें, because I couldn't find the provision. How does a party become a parliamentary party? Which provision governs that?
My lord, parliamentary party is not defined in the constitution. 63A is a provision which deals with parliamentary party, and clause 2 is the clause which explains what will be a parliamentary party, and that's about
I
it.
mean, in the rules of business of the parliament or whatever, I mean, how do we, what's the act? I mean, when does it become a parliamentary party? When they take oath?
No. It flows from here. So anyone who has returned as a candidate or nominee on a political party's ticket will become a member of parliamentary party of that party, or will constitute a parliamentary party of that
The minute
party.
he takes oath.
And when an independent wants to join a parliamentary party, he has to join such parliamentary party. In other words, independents cannot form a parliamentary
आप
party.
अगर
There can't be any independent
इसको
parliamentary
अगर दोबारा
bloc.
पढ़ लेना, दोबारा अगर उसको पढ़ लें, having been elected as a candidate or nominee of
जी.
a political party, वो
Yes.
फिर हम उसमें चले जाएंगे 66 में सर्टिफिकेट पे,
Yes, मैं आपको ला रहा हूँ
affiliation
वापस.
सर्टिफिकेट वाला बंदा।
I'm taking you back there. मैं यहाँ पे सिर्फ ये पॉइंट आपको बता रहा था, एक पॉइंट वो ये कि पार्लियामेंट्री पार्टी तो होगी वो जो फर्स्ट पार्ट है, इंडिपेंडेंट ने इसी पार्लियामेंट्री पार्टी को ज्वाइन करना है जिसका कोई कैंडिडेट या नॉमिनी जीत के आया हो. नाउ वी गो बैक टू क्लॉज पैराग्राफ डी, प्रोवाइडेड पैराग्राफ डी.
Sorry, here's something new for me. The political party automatically transforms into, if let's rephrase it, if there are some elected people of a political party in the National Assembly, they don't have to do anything, they automatically transform into a parliament party. Is this correct?
Yes.
So the political party inside the parliament is referred to as the
Parliamentary party of that political party, and the independents
Why the two distinctions? Why can't we just stick with political party? What was the reason for
for the
this?
purposes of 63A, sir, parliamentary party becomes relevant as opposed to political party because the decisions for the purposes of 63A under clause 1 are to be taken by the parliamentary party, the majority of parliamentary party or the parliamentary party.
एक क्वेश्चन पहले भी किया था शायद ने कि क्या विद इन 3 days जो इंडिपेंडेंट है वो अपनी पॉलिटिकल पार्टी फॉर्म कर सकते हैं?
तो नहीं कर सकते।
My lord, theoretically speaking, I am now talking about a political party, not parliamentary party.
Yes,
They
political
could,
party.
but that political party will not become a parliamentary party for the purpose of 63A, because for the independent, they will remain independents for the purposes of 63A.
Same as your position about SIC.
What would be the effect?
I'm coming back.
The example that has just been given, what would be the effect on paragraph D?
Now, that's where the submission comes now. जी, अब मैं उस पे आ रहा हूँ sir.
Stating two different
उस पे आ रहा हूँ
things altogether.
जी. Now, if we look at paragraph, the proviso to paragraph D in isolation, to say that an independent returned candidate can join any political party regardless of it, whether it has won any seat or not, then he will become a member of that political party. But for the purpose of 63A, he cannot become member of parliamentary party because that political party did not have any seat in the assembly, in that house.
I think
So ये फिर harmony में नहीं
मेरी अंडरस्टैंडिंग ये है कि अगर आजाद उम्मीदवार पार्टी बना ले तो वो 51 के लिए तो इंटाइटल शायद ना हो, क्योंकि उसका एक प्रोसीजर होना, लेकिन बाकी अगर वो पार्टी बन जाते हैं तो पार्टी तो बाहर जाहिर होगी उनकी एक पार्लियामेंट के अंदर, दैट विल ऑल द इंडिपेंडेंट विल बिकम अ पार्लियामेंट्री पार्टी ऑफ दैट पार्टी। कोई भी नई पार्टी बने बाहर उनके तो स्ट्रक्चर होगा
सिर्फ
देखिए उसका अगर आप 63A1 में पढ़ेंगे,
पॉलिटिकल पार्टी तो नहीं बन सकती।
डिसीजन जितने भी पार्लियामेंट में लिए जाते हैं वो पार्लियामानी पार्टी लेती है, पॉलिटिकल पार्टी नहीं लेती।
That's right, sir. That's right. But वो जो क्लॉज 2 है, वो क्लॉज 2 ये कह रही है कि इंडिपेंडेंट किसी ऐसी पार्टी में, ऐसी पार्लियामेंट्री पार्टी में शामिल ही नहीं हो सकता जो
51 के हद तक ठीक
तो
है।
मतलब आपका कहने का
मेरा कहने का मतलब ये है,
नंबर 2 है
so मेरे कहने का मतलब ये है,
independent cannot join a party which does not have a parliamentary party.
yes, so for the purposes of proviso to paragraph D also, there has to be a party which must have won one seat at that point in time for the independent returned candidates to join it, because only then they will be able to join parliamentary party of that party under clause 2 of 63.
Clear है कि who may duly join such political party.
Yes.
Such relates to D. The party at least won one seat.
So if you read these two in harmony,
And then
you come to this conclusion. My submission is that you come to this conclusion that it must have won one seat at least for the purposes of proviso to paragraph D also.
So basically you're saying that unless that political party has a parliamentary party presence,
Or
the
could-
independent- or
yes.
will have a parliamentary
Yes.
presence, you cannot join.
Yes. Now I come to the last point, sir. Last point. And this point now, this submission now relates to what you have before you. A political party, the Sunni Ittihad Council, which has come before your lordships, which was an applicant before the Election Commission, had agitated that decision of Election Commission before the Learned Peshawar High Court, and aggrieved of the judgment of the Learned Peshawar High Court has come before you.
Factually, I mean, there was a notification, is that correct? Does it exist where the ECP declared them as a parliamentary party?
I'm not aware of it.
It was
whether it
referred
is-
by the other side, there's a
What
notification.
I know is that they have there is a parliamentary party, they have formed a parliamentary party,
That's
there
why
is a
the
parliamentary
question,
leader
the
also.
earlier question was that there is no provision that I found which ECP declares anybody as a parliamentary party. Or I don't know, where is the provision which says you are a parliamentary party?
No, it's
Nobody does that exercise for you.
I would.
So that notification which they referred to from ECP, I mean,
There are two factors, sir.
what your position is?
Sorry, I'm now confused. Earlier you had said a political party with some membership in the National Assembly automatically transforms into...
what I'm saying now also.
Without, okay, fine, if somebody wants to issue a notification, do so, but it's meaningless. Because it's the act itself which renders it. So now you're saying something different.
No, I'm not saying. I'm saying that this is what I have read in in the papers. I'm not saying that
तो अगर
whether
किसी
it's a
ने कर भी दिया
constitutionally
तो
correct position
कर दो।
or
But
not.
usko, can you get that out of the way, because Faisal
कर भी
Saab,
दिया तो कुछ नहीं हो
Faisal
सकता।
Saab referred to a notification on the record, so we just want to understand कि वो notification कहाँ से आ गई फिर?
वो अपने रिबटल में बता देंगे ये।
नहीं, उन्होंने तो बताया, आपने बताना है।
नहीं, मैं तो देख रहा हूँ क्लॉज 2 of 63A के नीचे कि वो क्या हो
So
सकता है
वो
क्या नहीं हो
notification
सकता।
doesn't exist, or what is that notification issued?
आज का स्टेटस क्या है ना, that's what
आज
we're
का
asking
status-
you, कि आज का स्टेट, are they a parliamentary party or not?
वो कहाँ
If
है?
somebody has notified them as a parliamenary
Somebody
party,
तो नहीं will notify
How can
them.
they? There is no such
The
provision.
ECP
नहीं, parliamentary party.
Even if there is, would it have any consequence?
वो देख लेते हैं।
It's like the
No
Supreme, it's
constitutional
like Supreme
consequence.
Court
Why would it not have
notifying you
consequence?
as the Attorney
No
General for
constitutional
Pakistan.
It would have presence in parliament as a parliamentary party. Why is it having no consequence?
No, my submission, your ladyship, is that clause 2, there is a specific requirement under clause 2. What will have to be seen is that whether there was any candidate or nominee of Sunni Ittihad Council who returned on the party ticket first to constitute that parliamentary party and then the independents joining that parliamentary party. That is how it
Mr.
goes.
Mansoor,
अरे आगे चलें।
एक सेकंड, ये notification देख लें, so get that out of the way, because that's bothering.
CMA 5944 of 2024.
CMA 59.
44 of 2024. I'll show your lordship two documents. 87. 5944 of 2024. This is a document, page 7, sir.
जो इधर निकाल दें 5944.
5944.
पढ़ लीजिए please.
Sir. So this is the document of the national. Ji sir. Ji
What's
sir.
the page?
Page 7, my lady.
Take forever to find it, just read it out.
So this is a document of the National Assembly Secretariat. It says the Sunni Ittihad Council has nominated Ms. Sartaj Gul, member National Assembly of Pakistan, NA 185, as the parliamentary leader of the SIC Sunni Ittihad Council in the National Assembly with immediate effect.
So this is a business of National Assembly.
मैं अब आपको इलेक्शन कमीशन का भी दिखा रहा हूँ। ये था नेशनल असेंबली सेक्रेटेरिएट ने रिकॉग्नाइज की है। अगर आप सबको मिल गया है पेज 7, तो मैं इलेक्शन कमीशन का भी दिखा देता हूँ।
वो पढ़ दीजिए ना।
जी सर।
किस तारीख का है वो?
जी ये मेरी मेन जो
मिल नहीं रही, जस्ट कैन
सर, ये पेज 168 पे है इन द मेन अपील, सिविल अपील 333 ऑफ 2024. दिस इज डेट, जी सर, 168 योर लॉर्डशिप।
333 भी देखा हूँ।
जी
333.
पेज 168।
ये पढ़ दें।
जी This is-
पार्टी पॉलिटिकल पार्टीज में जिन्होंने इंडिपेंडेंट ने ज्वाइन किया, वो चीज है ये।
जी 25th April 2024, provision of list of independent returned candidates in the National Assembly who joined different political parties and party position. Dear sir, I am directed to refer to your letter number so-and-so dated so-and-so on the captioned subject, and to send herewith list of returned candidates in the National Assembly along with their party affiliation and party position as requested. If your lordships turn to the next page, wherever members are given, it gives their affiliation. And if your lordship want the election commission's chart, which specifies how many seats Sunni Ittihad Council has, it is at page 194.
That was the page 194.
आप ऐसे करें, जो ऊपर है उसको जरा पढ़ लें।
जी सर, जी सर।
नेम, नंबर, सीरियल नंबर, नेम ऑफ रिटर्न कैंडिडेट,
जी।
पार्टी एफिलिएशन,
जी।
दिस आर पार्टी एफिलिएशन।
जी। और उसके बाद नेशनल असेंबली सेक्रेटेरिएट का मैंने आपको बताया कि they have also recognized one of the members of the Sunni Ittihad Council.
You haven't responded. What does this party affiliation refer to?
ये कमीशन ने अपनी कंसाइज स्टेटमेंट में भी जमा करवाया है कि वेयर
So we've seen now the two documents. These are the two documents.
अगर मैं एक डॉक्यूमेंट और दिखा दूं इस पे,
जी, because he's arguing, जी.
concise statement of the election commission, CMA 5840 of 2024. at page 75,
CMA?
CMA 5840 of 2024. At page 75 onwards, the Election Commission, in their concise statement, have also taken the position that all these independents are no longer independents. They are part of the Sunni Ittihad Council. Page 75, sir.
So for the purpose of 63A2, they are parliamentary party.
Part 2. Sir, मैं उस हद तक इलेक्शन कमीशन की हद तक तो नहीं जाऊंगा.
वैसे आप क्या कह रहे थे वो पार्लियामेंट्री पार्टी है या नहीं?
They are parliamentary party even in those terms, although that question is not here. What the Attorney General is saying is a very different position. He is saying that the election.
But Mr. Attorney General, these documents open perhaps a new chain of thought, because what is the position of the Election Commission to see whether someone is or is not a member of a political party or an independent? That, I think, ends when the assembly takes over, and then it becomes a matter because that is really post election, right? Election Commission is only interested with elections. So if the Election Commission is saying that our record is showing that these people are Sunni, what is the name of this? Sunni Ittihad Council. That surely is a point in time prior to that, right? And from the Constitution, the only time prior to that is paragraph D. So if in Election Commission is saying, because anything that happens within the House, we are told no one can look at that, least of all the Election Commission. That's for the Secretariat, Speaker and other people to decide. So the Election Commission is now saying, according to this record that has been shown to us, as per our record, these are people who are Sunni Ittihad Council and members of that. Surely, insofar as Election Commission is concerned, is relatable only to paragraph D. Because anything that happens once the House is constituted, that's for Secretariat and Speaker to look at. So is not the Election Commission contradicting itself now when it says that for purpose of paragraph D, we will not recognize SIC to be a political party?
My Lord, the document which was just shown, the right-hand column says party affiliation. It does not say candidates or nominees of the party.
But who are they? Who is the Election Commission, and at what stage is it able to say this is the party affiliation of person X or candidate, turned candidate X, and this is showing that he is an independent?
So it's section 66. What happens under section 66?
I will join with my distinguished colleague. Suppose that in that list they make a mistake. They show some very prominent person of Muslim League being in the PPP. What difference does it make? I'm not bound by it. I mean, the person, what are turns on it?
As long as that's the position ECB is taking, what's the position of your position on these notifications? I mean, they're valid. What is
Would we even categorize them as notifications? Because a letter written to a deputy registrar or some section officer, I don't know, whatever is written it, it's not even tabled as a notification or something, or pursuant to issue under some act. So that person may have got it all wrong. I don't know. But
official communication by the election. No, but there's an official communication, with all due respect, by the Election Commission saying, you see, the Election Commission turns around yesterday and says, well, you know, on the BAP thing, we did something wrong, we don't know. And conveniently here they do a flip-flop and a somersault.
Let me respond to it.
कितनी दफा हम उनके official record को देखें for Election Commission to say, नहीं जी ये तो हमने बस ऐसी हवा में उड़ा दिया.
Let me respond to this.
ये कोई बात है? एक तरफ नहीं ना, Mr. Attorney General, एक तरफ हमें बताया जा रहा है इलेक्शन कमीशन की तरफ से हम आईनी इदारा है, जो हम चाहें करें, जो हम करें सब सही है, सब दुरुस्त है. दूसरी तरफ से उनका रिकॉर्ड है, उसमें जो चीज वो कर नहीं सकते तो आप बताइए ना, ये कोई किसी अखबार इश्तेहार तो नहीं कर रहे ना, ऑफिशियल कम्युनिकेशन है टू द नेशनल असेंबली फॉर गॉड सेक.
इसको इस तरह
किस पॉइंट पे उन्होंने ये कहा कि हमारे रिकॉर्ड में SIC एंड फॉर व्हाट पर्पस हमारे रिकॉर्ड में SIC के ये मेंबरान हैं? Seems to me the only answer is paragraph D.
मैं इसको
आप इसके इसमें ऐड कर देते हैं, आप ये बता दें कि किस कानून के तहत ये जो 2 लेटर्स इन्होंने दिखाए हैं सिद्दीकी साहब, ये किस कानून के तहत उन्होंने जारी किए हैं, किस आइन के किस प्रोविजन के तहत जारी
आपको पहले लेट मी जस्ट एक्सप्लेन फर्स्ट according to my understanding.
You can also take the easy way out and say, ask the Election Commission of
That I will.
Pakistan.
But just because I have made, no, obviously it is for them to
He is
defend
the Attorney
those.
General here
your
to assist
position
us
on
on
But I'm just going to assist you
What is
on
your
the 3
position?
stages. Yes.
What is your position?
Yes.
Does it have, first of all, does it have a legal significance? Answer that question.
These notifications or these letters or the notifications will have no bearing as far as 63A2 is concerned. That is my submission. Because for the purpose of 63A2, you would look towards the political party, the members of that political party, and see whether they were the candidates or nominees of that political party in the elections or not. Now, the first stage, among the 3 stages, this is the stage which is past 5160.
आप इसीलिए पूछ रहे हैं ना,
I'm working backwards.
देखिए लॉजिकली अगर इसको देखा जाए तो एक्चुअली दिस शुड बी अ कम्युनिकेशन फ्रॉम नेशनल असेंबली सेक्रेटेरिएट टू इलेक्शन कमीशन कि जी अब हाउस कॉन्स्टिट्यूट हो गया, लोग बैठ गए, हम आपको बता रहे हैं हमारे हाउस में X is political party A, Z is political party B, on and on and on and on. But no, this is the election commission telling them that this is what our record says.
Let me sir,
Their
explain
record,
this.
no, their
Legal
record,
position.
अरे सुन तो लेना, their record has to be maintained for some purpose. It is not a purposeless, meaningless exercise. So before the constitution of the house, the only purpose is apparently.
मैं कुछ अर्ज करूं सर। वो इकबाल ने कहा था बांगेदरा में कि माना कि तेरी दीद के काबिल नहीं हूं मैं, तू मेरा शौक देख, मेरा इंतजार देख।
नहीं, बिल्कुल है, you are highly competent.
आप जरा चलिए, जरा जल्दी करें.
3 steps, sir. First is the certificate when it is issued by a political party approving, nominating a person as its candidate. It is first is that stage, which is when filed with RO. This is the candidate which determines, this is a certificate which determines which political party the returned candidate will belong to or belongs to. The second step is when an independent joins a political party under proviso to sub-rule 6 of Rule 96, it is that stage which is happening under the proviso to paragraph D, when the election commission will enter in its record whether it has joined a political party or not. Now, it is this stage which will determine whether that political party is going to get the benefit of addition of these independents to its tally for the purpose of reserved seats. And then the third stage where they go into the parliament and whether that they can constitute a parliamentary party or not. Now, my submission was that you cannot look at stages 2 and 3 in isolation. Because if you look at them in isolation, that independent returned candidate will become a member of that political party which had no seat in the house but will not be able to be a member of parliamentary party of that house. So any notification issued by anybody will have no consequence. That is my response, my lord, to
आप
this
ये बता
question.
दें कि ये जो पार्टी बन गई इंडिपेंडेंट से, इनके मेंबर तो जो पार्लियामेंट में बैठे हुए हैं उनका कोई पार्लियामानी लीडर नहीं होगा।
My lord,
63A का अगर आप पढ़ेंगे 1 में 63A1 उसमें अगर पार्लियामानी पार्टी के हेड के डिसीजन के बगैर आप वोट कास्ट करेंगे तो आप डिफेक्शन में आएंगे, तो क्या वो डिफेक्शन से आरी हो गए?
my lord, my submission, the consequences if this submission is accepted will follow. My submission only was that you will have to read 51(6) in harmony with 63A, because under 51(6) you cannot permit a person joining a political party who had no returned candidate or nominee going into the assemblies, because in that case he will become a member of that political party but will not be able to become a member of parliamentary party. He will be an independent for the purpose of parliamentary party.
But
there would be a disharmony between these
Is it
two
possible
provisions.
that there is a political party that, as per your interpretation, does not have, doesn't become a parliamentary party for the purposes of 51D, But subsequently, so reserve seat nahi milegi, but subsequently it does win a seat, it does get a seat, so it is a parliamentary party for all practical purposes. Is that possible?
No, because you turn to clause 2 of 63A.
We're not talking about reserve seats, we're
No,
just
I've
talking...
understood the question. If you look at the last line of clause 2, it says such parliamentary party after such election. So the events are taking place at the same time. So it's just such elections, which in this case would be the general election, which will determine which parliamentary party that independent can join. Now, a situation may arise. In this case also, the Sunni Ittihat Council in by-elections won seats. People contested on their party ticket. But it is now that they are constituting a parliamentary party. Now, if you were to come to the conclusion that they are
This is my
independent.
question here.
Yes.
So now are they a parliamentary party? Because they have won some by-election, they have presence. Are they a parliamentary party?
So now, with respect to this question, when after that such election, there is another election which has taken
वो
place
हो
and
गया
they
ना,
have become
अब
a
आप
member.
सिर्फ simply
मुझे
बताएं
आप
yes ना,
explain
आप
to
कहेंगे
करेंगे।
नहीं, because it follows with another question. So
तो
this
फिर
is
इसका
not my
response- इसका response तो
yes.
सुनेंगे ना?
So
No, इसका response तो सुनने में तो yes कहा ही नहीं
अच्छा,
सकता।
इसका response क्या है?
नहीं, इसका response ये है कि if you were to hold that as of today they are independents, then yes, they can join the now constituted parliamentary party. Now constituted
But
parliamentary
I'm not
party after
asking about
by-elections.
independence. Let's just say they win some by-election, they become a parliamentary party. So my question is that then isn't there a conflict in the way the Election Commission is looking at how to read what is a political party for the purposes of contesting elections? So if it's not about the reserve seats, it's just about the right to contest in an election and the right to put out candidates. So they may not participate or they may subsequently become a parliamentary party, but for the purposes of the ECP's order, they are not a political party. Because your entire argument is that from a political party will flow the parliamentary party. So at some point they do become a parliamentary party, and for that they have to be a political party, otherwise they can't become one, as per your own argument. So how do we reconcile that and harmonize that with the argument made?
Yes. They can work in tandem, 51(6) and 63A, in harmony, if your lordships and your ladyship were to come to the conclusion that under proviso to paragraph D, independent returned candidates can only duly join such political party who has won one seat in the house, in a house, and consequently
अभी तो
when they-
रिजर्व सीट पे तो पहुंचते हैं ना जी, अभी तो we're just looking at whether they are a political party or not.
So
Your contention is they are not.
नहीं, मैं ये कह रहा हूं कि for the purposes of 51(6),
They are not a political party.
they are not a political
But
party.
for all other purposes they are, and now they are a parliamentary party.
No, they are not a parliamentary party.
let me आपका मैं जो समझा हूँ, आप ये कह रहे हैं कि सुन्नी इत्तेहाद काउंसिल was not a political party for the purposes of 51(6). However, with their winning the election, by-election, they have become a parliamentary party under Article 63(2).
So they can now, after winning those 1 or 2 seats or 3 seats or 5 seats, they will now constitute a parliamentary party.
Only if they won the seats.
अगर by-election में उनके ticket पे आ गए कोई, but in order for the independents to join such parliamentary party,
That
you
will
will
take effect now.
So they
No,
are
बात होगी ना
independents
जी।
as of today.
मगर the question is that if they are not a political party, and the orders of the ECP doesn't say they're not a political party for the purposes of 51. It says simply that they are not a political party. So if they're not a political party, how do they become a parliamentary party?
They don't become a parliamentary party if you look at 51(6) and you were to say
We'll
that
not looking at 51(6), forget the reserve seats, just to understand how this process works, because you
yes,
said...
they become a parliamentary party. A political party does become a parliamentary party where its candidate or nominee nominee actually wins a seat and goes into the
So
assembly.
it starts off at the election, on the election date as being not a political party, and then subsequently down the line somewhere it attains the status of a political party and becomes a parliamentary party.
No, two things.
दो टू तो नहीं होते हैं ना
एक
जी?
नहीं,
Mr. Attorney General, the answer is one, with the 3 days, you're overlooking the 3 days aspect.
Sir,
वो
वो
3
जो
days
3
तो
दिन में
reserve
आपको
seats
ज्वाइन
के लिए
करना
है।
था, जो एग्जिस्टिंग चीजें, जो सब्सिक्वेंट चीजों को तो आप उस 3 दिन में नहीं ज्वाइन कर सकते हो. जो चीज अभी हुई नहीं उसको आप कैसे ज्वाइन कर सकते हो?
I'll just
So
into
there is one other,
Can you conclude now? I
जी
mean,
जी बस मैं अब conclusion की तरफ
one possible interpretation to this could also be, I'm just placing it on, on the table, because 63A2 could be one set, and 51D could be yet another way of becoming a parliamentary party, irrespective of the reserved seat. So, the minute the independents join a political party off the shelf, forget the reserved seat angle, they become a parliamentary party because the winnings have been brought into a political party off the shelf. That could be yet a third way of becoming a parliamentary party, but has nothing to do with 51D, because उसके लिए तो बाकी requirements भी चाहिए.
ये जो political
with respect, my
Or
lord,
the other
it
is
can't
that you
be-
read it
it
together.
can't be
ये जो
because,
I think it could be a
पार्लिमानी
third
पार्टी
way.
है ये 63A के लिए है ये जो
उसी के
पार्लिमानी
लिए
पार्टी
ही है,
सिर्फ उसी के लिए
उसी के लिए है, उसी
देखिए, वो
के लिए
define नहीं करते कि
है, उसी के
पार्लिमानी
लिए ही
पार्टी
है, वही प्रोविजन है
वो
जो
तो
डील
issue
करती
नहीं
है
है,
पार्लियामेंट्री
आगे
पार्टी.
चलें।
मैं तो सिर्फ ये कह रहा हूँ कि
इसलिए आपको आगे बढ़ना.
बस आगे चलता हूँ. बस एक कंक्लूजन यहाँ पे एक फाइनल सेंटेंस कह के and reiterating. Independent returns candidates can only join such political party which must have won one seat in a house, because they will only be able to become a member of parliamentary party of that party and no other party which has no seat. Now I come to this last submission, my lord. And this last submission deals with the broader question also. Before this court, you have proceedings under Article 185(3). There is a political party, Sunni Ittehad Council, who's the appellant number 1, along with its chairman, who's appellant number 2. They are aggrieved of the decision of the Election Commission, which was upheld by, they are aggrieved of the decision of Peshawar High Court, which had upheld the decision of the Election Commission, whereunder the reserve seats, reserve seats were not allocated to Sunni Ittehad Council as claimed by it. And they were treated as independents for the purposes of allocation of reserved seats, and consequently the seats went to the other parties in accordance with the formula, in accordance with the rules and the formula which has been followed. My lords, I've also observed that while looking at this list, why can't this court, invoking 187, pass an appropriate order or direction? My respectful submission to this is that 187, and I first want to read it out for making submission of clause 1 of 187, just quick read. Just want to point out one part of it. 1. I'll just read clause 1, sir. Subject to clause 2 of Article 175, the Supreme Court shall have power to issue such directions, orders, or decrees as may be necessary for doing complete justice. A pause. In any case or matter pending before it. In any case, matter or pending before it, if you may kindly underline it, sir. My lord, Article 187 is a power which has been conferred upon the Supreme Court. It is not a jurisdiction. This power can only be exercised when a case is competently filed and is pending before your lordships under 184, 185, or 188. No independent proceedings can be initiated under 187. It is only...
What does this mean, any case? For doing complete justice in any case...
Or matter pending before it. So it is any case which in the jurisdictions which this court has under 184, 185 or 188, I can't imagine under 186 something
There is
of
a
this
case
sort happening,
pending.
but let's, for the
There is
sake
a
of
case
discussion,
pending.
186.
There is a case pending.
Yes, but while the case is pending before you, you would look at the case what is made out before you. The case brought before you, the case made out for you, and the case which is being responded to. And while doing so,
देखिए
खत्म हो गया ये बात
अगर देखिए इसमें अगर बात यह है कि अब आपने सिद्दीकी साहब के 2 लेटर्स पे आपने कहा कि जो 2 लेटर दिखाए गए इलेक्शन कमीशन के इख्तियार नहीं थे। आपसे
वो रिस्पॉन्ड कर लेंगे, बट मेरा ख्याल है कि
आपसे एक सवाल पूछना है। आप तो चूंकि 27A में आए हैं, आप फेडरल गवर्नमेंट को रिप्रेजेंट नहीं कर, आप कोर्ट नोटिस पे हैं, तो आपने लॉ पे हमें असिस्ट करना है। आप ये बता दें कि जब नॉमिनेशन पेपर फाइल होती है, एक कैंडिडेट कह देता है कि मैं डिक्लेरेशन देता हूँ फलां पार्टी से हूँ, और उस पर सर्टिफिकेट भी आ जाता है, विड्रॉल डेट गुजरने के बाद क्या उस कैंडिडेट के पास ये इख्तियार है कि वो विड्रॉ कर जाए? नंबर 1, विड्रॉल डेट गुजरने के बाद, या क्या इलेक्शन कमीशन को किस कानून के तहत ये इख्तियार है कि वो कहते नो यू आर इंडिपेंडेंट? ये सवाल, क्योंकि आप अगर देखें 72 में, सेक्शन 72, कैंडिडेट के पास सिर्फ एक ही रेमेडी है कि वो रिटायरमेंट ले रहे हैं। 74 सॉरी जी, सेक्शन 74 ऑफ द एक्ट।
72 सर, 72 सर, रिटायरमेंट 72 रिटायरमेंट जी। तो कैंडिडेट अगर एप्लीकेशन दे के मैं आज़ाद हूँ, क्या वो आज़ाद मीन्स विड्रॉइंग फ्रॉम द एफिलिएशन ऑफ दैट पार्टी? कैन ही विड्रॉ हिमसेल्फ? मैं आपको जरा कुछ थोड़ा सा ब्रीफली इस पे एक्सप्लेन करके देना
ये सवाल इम्पोर्टेंट है। देखिए ना, सवाल ये है कि जब ये बात होती है कि वो while we looking at the case from one end, ये सारा इलेक्शन है ना जी, पूरे इलेक्शन में हम एक पोर्शन को पकड़ लिया, हमने कहा SIC पॉलिटिकल पार्टी है कि नहीं, और उनके पास रिजर्व सीट्स आती। अब हम जब कंप्लीट जस्टिस की लेंस को खोलते हैं तो हम कहते हैं ठहरो ना, हम आंखें तो नहीं बंद कर सकते इस पे कि SIC पे हम कहाँ से पहुंचे हैं। SIC में इसलिए पहुंचे हैं कि हैड द इलेक्शन कमीशन डिक्लेयर्ड PTI एज अ पार्टी विद whatever 2, 3, 4 कैंडिडेट, independents would have had a choice that there was a PTI also. We all understand that all those independents have won the election because they held out to the public they were PTI people. All those votes were casted for these 84 people because they were PTI. It's obvious. अब having said that, now we say okay, वो सारा चीज जो है हमने नहीं देखना एकदम, और हम ये देखने लग जाए थोड़ा सा पोर्शन, तो फिर कंप्लीट जस्टिस को और हमने क्या करना है इस क्लॉज को कि अगर हम पूरी पिक्चर ही ना देख सकें,
वो आपको दिखाया
नहीं, ना दिखाए।
बट मैं ये आपको ये कह रहा
सुन
हूं,
लेना, कहना चाह रहे हैं कि कंप्लीट जस्टिस को कहाँ लेके जाना है अगर हम ये चीजों पे आंखें बंद करने लग जाएं इधर उधर, और घोड़े की तरह इस तरह वो लगा के चलने लग जाएं। कंप्लीट जस्टिस इज टू ब्रॉडन द विजन, सी द होल ट्रांजैक्शन।
अटॉर्नी जनरल
with the limitations.
Attorney General,
जी साहब, आपने शायद वो तस्वीर देखी है जो जज की आंखों पे पट्टी होती है। पट्टी ये नहीं होती।
adding to what my Lord Justice Mansoor Ali Shah has just stated, what you have argued is, in other words, you are asking this apex court, vested with jurisdiction, extraordinary jurisdictions as well, that only look at 185, and thus what would be the effect? The effect would be during these proceedings, one thing has become absolutely obvious, that there has been a grave constitutional violation by excluding a political party on the basis of misinterpretation of the provisions and a judgment of this court. So now, indirectly, this apex court would be validating a grave constitutional violation and thus invoking the doctrine of necessity again. Now, this is not an ordinary 185 litigation. It relates to the rights of the people, particularly those who by now is very clear have been disenfranchised by an unconstitutional interpretation by a constitutional body, and you want this court to validate it?
And adding to that, I mean, all we want to say, adding to that, this is not a case कि पटवारी ने जमीन किसी की इंटर पार्टी ले ली है तो हमने कहा 185 में देखना है, वो ऑर्डर आपने चैलेंज नहीं किया, आप नहीं कर सकते. This is not that. Please try to look at this as an election matter, which is perhaps something that one has to look into. It's a sui generis. It's a different kind of set of proceedings. Go under 185. We're looking at the electorate, we're looking at the national elections, the apex court, national election, the electorate, the millions of people who voted. What I find very difficult is to look one segment of the election and ignore a very grave illegality that occurred just a minute before it, which led to that problem. So can't we not attend it and close our eyes to it? Because if you open your eyes to it, all you have to do is that if three persons, according to the record, if ECP checks, PTI becomes a party of 3 members of 4. And then there is a party on the table, and then the independents have a choice to take their vote. Everything falls in place. So if that is not what justice is, I don't know what justice is.
My lord,
Since a lot has been said from this side, and since I may not subscribe to a number of things that don't expect this, justice, we all want justice, but it's a very elusive concept. If you go on personal justice, my concept may be different from your concept. Someone may be in favor of capital punishment, someone may be against it. On a justice principle, do we apply justice principles? We apply the law and the constitutional provisions. Now, read all the judgments of this court which introduce the doctrine of necessity, and all of them rely upon the justice principle. Les populi, Keynes's pure theory of law. This is actually they had lost the thing of the people. Every judgment has been based on premise. If they had simply followed the constitution and said, this is not permissible, you cannot take over, you cannot send elected representatives home, that would be the letter of the constitution. I'm not even going to the spirit of the constitution. When judges, some of them may have great wisdom, I am not one of those, say, forget what the constitution say, there is this one word, justice, and I'm going to erect an edifice on the basis of this one word, then we might as well do away with the constitution, because we are now imposing our vision on the nation. We are imposing what the constitution says. Hang on, constitution makers, you didn't quite get it right. We know what justice is. We are imposing our will on parliament. When we go into these vague concepts, we get into all sorts of troubles which are history. It's not academic anymore. Since mention was made of doctrine of necessity, it was on these very principles. When they can't find anything tangible to hang on to in the constitution, then opens the doors, because I can define justice any way I want to, someone else will define it any other way. So are we going to have this academic, and this is not even something which has really been argued, and I don't want to stick my neck out or let it come from as if it's a thing of the court saying this, that the doctrine of necessity was done, I think, on the very principle or the concept, or what they borrowed, what they in their hearts or in their conscience, I would even go that far, they genuinely believed it. I wouldn't even say that, I wouldn't even attribute any malafide or ill intent to any of those judges. They genuinely believed it. I don't want let's Pakistan go on the constitutional path for once.
Learned comes, I think you finished your
My lord, I have.
Attorney General, you haven't answered my question. Do we validate?
These are our opinions.
Do we validate a grave constitutional violation which has become obvious before us? That is inclusion.
On something.
That is not premise. That is the orders have come before us. It has become obvious.
You want to respond?
We are
Please
ignoring the elephant in the room.
My lord, I will now there are 4 judgments, one authored by Justice Shah on 187, one of the bench of which Justice Munib Akhtar was part of, and 2 other judgments on 187. The limitations which I have placed before you in 187 is what the Constitution says, how the courts have read it. If the court wishes to read it differently, it's a full court, the court can. I'm placing these 4 judgments before you.
But on what principle? Just tell us the principle.
4, sir.
Are they on the same principle or different principle?
Which I've just read out while explaining 187, that it's a power, not a jurisdiction. There has to be a list before your lordship. While looking at, you should be leased with the seize of the list while applying 187, but you cannot initiate independent proceeding by invoking 187 beyond what is before you. Yes. With that, I will conclude my submission.
Thank you.
Attorney General, sir, my question, what would happen to those independent candidates who have neither joined any parliament party or nor political party? What would happen to those independent candidates?
वो independent रहेंगे.
तरह जबकि लॉ कहता है कि 3 दिन के अंदर उनको ज्वाइन करना है पार्टी.
ऑप्शन है सर, ऑप्शन है.
तो फिर वो कहाँ जाएंगे?
वो आजाद रहेंगे सर. वो यानी वो फॉर द पर्पसेस ऑफ पार्लियामेंट्री पार्टी पार्लियामेंट के अंदर आजाद रहेंगे सर.
Sorry. They will not remain independent. They have to join some political party. देखिए ना, लॉ तो यही कहता है कि 3 दिन के अंदर ज्वाइन करो. अब आप कह रहे हैं इंडिपेंडेंट, कैसे रहेगा इंडिपेंडेंट?
वो इट्स एन ऑप्शन. मैं द वे आई रीड इट, वो एक ऑप्शन क्रिएट कर रहा है. अगर वो ऑप्शन अवेल नहीं करते तो वो पार्लियामेंट में जाके एज अपना इंडिपेंडेंट स्टेटस रख लेंगे.
अटॉर्नी जनरल साहब, ये जो डाटा इन्होंने प्रोवाइड किया है इलेक्शन कमीशन ने CMA नंबर 5840 ऑफ 24 में, पेज नंबर 19 पर सीट रिजर्व फॉर वुमेन नेशनल असेंबली 17 इन्होंने नेशनल असेंबली में सीट ऑब्टेन करी हैं और 10 इनको मिल गई हैं रिजर्व सीट्स, तो इनकी 27 सीट्स हो गई हैं. पीपल्स पार्टी ने 1 ऑब्टेन करी है, 2 इनको बोनस में सीट्स मिल गई हैं, 3 हो गई. इसी तरह से सबसे बुरी सूरत हाल खैबर पख्तूनख्वा में है, जहां मुस्लिम लीग ने 36 सीटें ऑब्टेन की हैं और उनको 21 सीटें मिल गई हैं रिजर्व सीट्स. इसी तरह से PPP ने 3 सीटें ऑब्टेन करी हैं, 1 उनको बोनस में मिली है. PMLN को इस तरह से मिली है 1 सीट, 2 उन्होंने ऑब्टेन करी हैं. और यहाँ पर जो और सूरत हाल है नॉन मुस्लिम की, JUIP की 0 सीट्स थी, उनको 2 सीट्स मिली है नॉन मुस्लिम्स की.
ये
और जिन्होंने कोई,
आप कहाँ देख रहे हैं सर?
ये पेज नंबर 20 पे 580 पे जो सीट्स एलोकेशन है, रिजर्व सीट जो ऑब्टेन करी
नॉन मुस्लिम्स की.
जी, नॉन मुस्लिम्स की. खैबर पख्तूनख्वा में 0 सीट्स JUI
मुस्लिम्स की तो
रिजर्व सीट फॉर नॉन मुस्लिम
प्रोविंस में तो नहीं होती हैं सर.
इसमें 2 सीटें इन्होंने ऑब्टेन करी.
वो फिर विमेन की होंगी. नॉन मुस्लिम्स तो सिर्फ नेशनल असेंबली में होती है.
प्रोविंशियल असेंबली में भी है. जो डेटा मेरे सामने है,
सर प्रोविंस में है.
प्रोविंस में कोई सीट उन्होंने ऑब्टेन नहीं करी, 2 सीट्स हैं उनके पास.
बिल्कुल.
आपका जवाब क्या है कि ये कैसे इनको,
मतलब जितनी सीट्स उनकी नहीं है उनसे डबल ट्रिपल उनको मिल रही है, 3 गुना ज्यादा मिल रही है.
एक फारसी का एक मकौला है जी साहब,
जी सर,
हिस्सा बकदर जुस्सा.
जी,
यानी जितनी आपकी साख्त होगी उसके मुताबिक आपको मिलनी चाहिए. उससे बढ़कर एक सवाल ये आ रहा है कि मिल सकती है या नहीं.
मैंने वो आपको एक्सप्लेन किया था.
इम्पैक्ट वाला
इसीलिए इम्पैक्ट वाला आपसे पूछा था. You left
वो
that
मुझे
question.
जस्टिस याहिया अफरीदी ने कहा था कि आपका काम ये कैलकुलेशंस करना नहीं है, वो इलेक्शन कमीशन
आपने
की.
डॉक्यूमेंट
मुझे तो आपको रिकॉर्ड दिया मैंने.
कैलकुलेटेड.
लेकिन अगर आपको इंडिपेंडेंस को
See, nahi, ऐसे नहीं, that's unfair.
नो, आई एम सॉरी.
My observation that anything to do with the calculation of seats, that is the mandate of Election Commission. However, I'm not stopping you from responding to any question posed to you by a honorable member of the bench.
And you said you'll take
I did
us.
not mean it that way, my
And you said you'll take us to the impact.
जी,
You
impact
parked
आपने
my question yet again and said I will answer it in the end.
madam,
So the end has come, so please answer my
end is
question.
not coming, but
No, he said so.
the question, my ladyship, there were so many questions.
इम्पैक्ट आपने कैलकुलेट नहीं ना किया हुआ.
तो इम्पैक्ट जो है, इम्पैक्ट आपको कैलकुलेट करके you meant
नहीं, आपने
by
लगाए हुए
including
हैं.
independence,
आपने
by
डेटा
including
दिया हुआ है,
independence.
उसी पर
यूनिक
आ जाए.
सिचुएशन हुई है, यूनिक सिचुएशन.
आप अपने डेटा पर आ जाए ना, so we can
कैलकुलेशन गलत हो
understand.
जाती है. अगर आप उसको एक्सक्लूड करते हैं ना इस साइज ऑफ इंडिपेंडेंस को, तो
वो आप अगर
होल हाउस गोज ऑरी.
That's the
my
problem.
submission is that it does not, but if you include them, then you will come to, perhaps when you look at the calculations, you will see
See, because
that,
the whole problem
one
stems
party
from...
might end up getting
नहीं, नहीं.
against 1 seat, 1 reserved seat for
You see,
non-Muslims.
the problem here is that it all stems from the Election Commission's understanding of what is a political party and what is not a political party. They gave us their legal submissions and said that 6 elements must exist for it to be a political party. You are saying that no, those 6 elements, no, not all of them have to be there, and yet a political party which is not a political party as per their definition can become a parliamentary party. It appears to be highly confusing, and that is why this confusion has arisen, where you have over 99 independents, and you've put them all out and just taken 10 into consideration. तो वो
who
impact
joined
lopsided
political
नहीं हो जाएगा?
देखें आप प्लीज अगर जब इनकी दरखास्त गई इन इंडिपेंडेंट्स की इलेक्शन कमीशन में कि हम एक्स पार्टी को ज्वाइन करना चाहते हैं, वो दरखास्त वहां दे देते कि हम पीटीआई को ज्वाइन करना चाहते हैं, एंड द इलेक्शन कमीशन हैड रिजेक्टेड दैट एप्लीकेशन एंड दैट कम बिफोर यू दैट द इलेक्शन कमीशन इज रिफ्यूजिंग टू अलाउ अस टू ज्वाइन दिस पार्टी एंड देन कॉन्स्टिट्यूट अ
The problem
पार्लियामेंट्री
stems
पार्टी
from a
ऑफ
confusion that starts on 22/12/23.
आप उसके
You
बाद
can't
भी
ignore
events हुए हैं
that,
ना,
you see.
आ जाते हैं आपके पास तो क्या
आप
प्रॉब्लम
starting
था?
point ignore कर देते हैं.
नहीं मैं नहीं इग्नोर करता,
कोई
वो हो
फर्क
गया
नहीं
उसका।
पड़ता।
नहीं वो हो गया, उसके बाद भी
These
रिमीडियल
are
स्टेप्स हो
people,
सकते थे।
independents who are not independent because they've held themselves out to not be
वो
independent.
फिर एसआईसी नहीं ज्वाइन करते, पीटीआई कर लेते
नहीं,
हैं,
that-
उसमें क्या प्रॉब्लम था?
से पूछते हैं आप you concluded now. How long will you take in reply?
Sir, 15 minutes.
And anybody else? Yeah, just
conclude today.
So we can
Khaira Sahab, your 10 minutes is about
no,
1 hour.
because आज हमारी एक मीटिंग भी है. We don't want to rush you either. We can do it on Monday
नहीं सर,
or any
मैं
other day which you want.
10 मिनट में खत्म कर लूंगा एंड 10 मिनट में ये
10 आप सवाल होंगे फिर खत्म नहीं होता ना.
Let's not rush.
आप आपकी मंडे को वो दूसरा केस
सर मुझे तो 15 मिनट चाहिए आई लीव इट टू योर लॉर्डशिप 25 मिनट सवाल
15 plus
आप लोग करेंगे तो कुछ हम लोग भी शायद सवाल पूछने फिर मंडे ठीक है.
Monday
को कर लेते हैं.
there's another bench on Monday.
वो आगे कर लेंगे.
बात कर लें.
टुमारो आई एम अवेलेबल
कोई और बेंच है तो ट्यूसडे कर लें.
Monday another bench, special bench.
इट्स नॉट पॉसिबल दिस वीक सर
को प्रॉब्लम हो रहा है. It's a nice city.
आई एम नाउ
ठीक है आप ये
फैसल साहब आपका हमेशा कोई बहाना जो है वो डोमेस्टिक होता है. Is there some domestic problem?
नो सर द डोमेस्टिक प्रॉब्लम इज ऑन अ फॉरेन ट्रिप
इसमें लिखिए.
इन्होंने सम्मान नहीं किया.
लकी है वो जा सकते हैं.
इसमें लिखिए learned Attorney General has concluded his submissions to come up on Tuesday, date डाल दीजिए July 2024 at 11:30 a.m. to hear submissions in rebuttal.
यस
ठीक है ठीक. if any तो की जरूरत नहीं है. if any तो आप करना है. ठीक है, if any ना लिखें. Thank you.
थैंक यू सर थैंक
Now you to your 15 minutes.
आई विल कीप माई सेल्फ टू द बेंच के बारे में मैं नहीं कह सकता सर
You've taken a dig at the end.
I can see your lordship.
You've taken a dig at us at the end.
I can see your lordship also doesn't have control over. Thank you, sir.
Another dig.
गलत बात.